Hi guys, this is Joel here. Just want to show you a few steps and things that might help smooth things out, hopefully for you, for administering the interims for 3rd through 5th grade coming up here. So we're going to cover a few things. First off, we'll talk about how to preview the assessment and take a look at it. Secondly, where you can find your test administration guides, which is has the say now instructions and things like that, everything to do from timing to materials and whatnot. Then we'll talk about how to live proctor during the assessment. And then we'll talk a little bit about how to enter the scores after the assessment. And then we'll share a couple of things. One is an activity that this will be included in this email that I send out to you. It'll be a link. So you'll want to open up your Seesaw account and then click on the link, and it'll add an activity into your activity library in both English and Spanish, which you can share out as an assignment for the students to click on to take the interims. And then we also have a video for the students to listen to instructions on how they access it, how to enter their username and password and things like that to get in. So first off, you'll want to go to your teacher's portal and go ahead and find the Illuminate link and log into Illuminate. And again, you don't use the upper portion here. You'll want to use the DPS Google. So you'll click on that and enter your DPS Google credentials, your .net email. So again, it's so mine is Joel_Stewart at dpsk12.net, not .org. And that'll log you in, and you'll end up landing here. And you have a set of tiles here. And I've set this up for each of you. I've gone in as you and created these tiles. I'm actually under Mr. Small's account here. So you about 3 rows down in the first row, first column there, you'll have a tab that will take you. It's a green one for grade 3, or it's yellow for grade 4, or it's red for grade 5. It'll take you into your grades, math and ELA literacy interims. So you just click on that. And here it has them all, and it has all your ELAs and their math, and then there's a few other assessments that are in there, but this is the best spot to go. There are missing a few of the assessment 2 Spanish ones in math because they're still working on those, but let's go ahead and we'll use Mr. Small here, and we'll say we're looking at the 5th grade interim assessment number 1 for 2021. So I'll click on that. So that's how to define the assessment, and then we'll hit dismiss for this pop-up. If you want to preview the assessment, just go ahead and click administration, online testing. And up here you have a tab that says preview assessment. If you click on that, we'll just click through the pop-up. And this tells you the 16 questions, and this is exactly what it'd look like for the students. It says you have about 65 minutes to complete the assessment. So you just click begin testing, and this is what it looked like. So this is something if you wanted to preview it before you give the assessment, if there's any instructions that you might want to share on how to enter information and things, this will give you an idea of what it's going to look like for that. So I'll go ahead and just close this out and cancel that. I'll go back to, so I'm back in the assessment now. I'm still under the online section. So that's how you would preview the assessment. Now to find the test administration guide, if we go under setup, so click the setup drop-down menu and drop down to the very last one. It says materials. And you have this grade 3 through 5 teacher guide. So it's a teacher's guide for everything in literacy and math for grades 3 through 5. It's the same instructions. So you want to click that, it'll open up a PDF. Again, I'm going to also include a PDF attached to this email that I send out. But it'll look like this. And I would highly recommend you read through this and just kind of become familiar with how to administer the assessment. It's got everything from instructions, materials, testing time, things like that. And the most important part, if you scroll down to the bottom here, is your actual say instructions. So it tells exactly what you're going to say to them. It's nice with the literacy assessment. It tells you what question you'd like to have them stop for session 1, where to end that. So you can continue the second day and do session 2. So again, 3rd grade would be question 4, 4th grade question 17, 5th grade you want them to stop on question 18. And it says that they have about 45 minutes to complete this. Then you can add an additional 15 minutes if the students are still actively testing if they need that. And if I scroll down a little further, we have it in Spanish. And then we have the math. Math instructions aren't quite as exact as far as where to break if you need to break. It says you have 65 minutes to complete the test. Does anyone have any questions? So I have had teachers that have done 30 minutes and then they've stopped and come back the next day, or you have 45 minutes and then include some the next day. So that's really kind of at your discretion. It's not quite as precise as exactly where to stop, but it has it in English and Spanish. Many teachers will just say, a lot of my kids are going to be done in 65 minutes. I'll just give that 65-minute block to them. And then if anyone needs extra time, you can do that during a makeup session. So that is that part. So then we have, we talked about how to preview the assessment, how to find the test administration guide. So let's talk about live proctoring. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the PDF. I'm jumping back into, this is again, that 4th grade math assessment. And I'm gonna do administration, online testing. And this is the actual administration setup here. So it tells you it's scheduled to start at 12 a.m. in the morning on the 7th, and it will run through until 2 a.m. on the 19th. So I scheduled it based on the calendar that you had given me as when you wanted it to be available for students. And then I put, because we'll have some makeups and student will be absent, the date for it to end is right as we go on winter break. So right now it's pending. If you came in here and it was green, it would be current. Or if it's already past due, if you came back in January, it would look as red. And a couple of different areas. One view that I like when I'm proctoring is this students tab. I don't necessarily need to see, or sometimes I don't want to see, which questions have been answered correctly or incorrectly, just for the anxiety that it causes. So I'll just click on this, and it'll give your student's name down here. It'll say they started at what time they start at, and if they finished by the time they're done. And it'll also tell you, you know, what they're looking at and how many times they've paused the test and total testing time. So that's kind of a nice way that you can take a look at it. When they're testing, if you hit this actions button, you can force finish a test if they've walked away and forgot to close out the test. Or if they submitted it too early, you can return it, and things like that. The other option to look at it, again, I'm just going to go back one button, is this live proctoring. Some teachers like this, so it's really your discretion. This one will show all the students along here. All the questions questions they answer correctly will show up as green, incorrectly will show up as red. If it's a teacher scored item, it'll be, I believe it's gray. So again, this is the spot you can just kind of watch the students and you see all of a sudden that April here is on question 12 and we're 5 minutes into the assessment and they're all red. It might be an opportunity for you to stop, pause, maybe pull April aside in a breakout session and explain that she needs to slow down just a smidgen. So that is test administration guides, live proctoring, entering scores. Couple of different ways. There is a button here, 2 buttons here. If you're doing the live proctoring that I just showed you, you can click here and it'll show any available assessments. So that's an even faster way than to get to it. And the other button here is enter and edit responses. So you can go in there to enter, it'll show any available assessments. Or you can do as we did, kind of a little bit longer route. Click on this, find the assessment that you're scoring. Administration, online, oops, sorry. Administration, enter edit. And then you'll just type in the filters to find your students and it'll show, and that's where you'll enter the scores for the students. So that will get you to that. Okay, most important thing I'm most excited about, the Seesaw activity item. I am going to include a link in this email. And what you want to do is open up your Seesaw, click on that link, and then this item will be added into your activity library. And this has everything in here as far as telling students what they need to do, the steps they need to take, how to log in, what their username is, what their password is, everything's right here, all the instructions. So some students, your visual students might want to read through this and start with that. You do have an option you can click and listen to it. Today, you're going to take an interim assessment in either English Language Arts, ELA, or math. That's me and my teacher voice. So that's all right there. So you can just share this out as an activity whenever you're ready for the students to take them, and it'll have the link and everything embedded in it. The other option is, and let me see if I can pull this up. Bear with me. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so you can present this to them. The other item that I wanted to share, which is pretty powerful, and this is a video that you could share with your students, and you could show this to them once, twice, 3 times, however often you think is appropriate for them to see what they need to do. And hopefully this will remove some of the headaches when it comes to actually administering the assessment. So I'll play this for you.
To access the interim assessment, first you're going to go to Seesaw. When you are on Seesaw, you're going to click on Activities. and you're going to find this activity that is called Interim Assessments Online. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to click on Add Response. Then you're going to click on the link, this link over here. Next, you're going to click in the red one that says Sign in with Google. You're going to select your name. You're going to click on Take Assessment, and you're going to select the assessment that you're going to do. Once you're in the assessment, you're going to click on Begin Test. So here are your questions. Take your time and answer all the questions completely. And that's it.
Okay, so that's it. So we've talked through basically how to preview the assessments, where to find the test administration guides, how to do the live proctoring, how to enter scores, how to share interims using Seesaw, and now you have a video. So I will include in this email that I'm sending to you your test administration guides, even though you know where to find those. Also the links to the Seesaw activities and this video, the link to that will all be included in the email. And that should take care of it. If there's anything I can do for you or questions you have that come out of this, please feel free to email me at joel_stewart@dpsk12.org. So JOEL_STEWART @dpsk12. Or you can feel free to call me or text me, whatever. If it's urgent in the moment, feel free. My cell phone number is 720-934-8346. Again, 720-934-8346. And thank you and good luck.